This is my review of the Samsung JetBot Plus. First we open it and see which parts there are in it. There's an extra brush in the package. And the manuals, of course. The robots itself. And you don't have to do anything, it's complete intact when you get it. You don't have to install any brushes or filters. There's an extra bag for the emptying bin, some power cables, some magnetic bands for stairs or security areas, an extra filter, and in the bottom of the case there is the emptying bin. All is pretty good wrapped in some plastic and some cardboard side, so it don't get any injuries in the box. You can open in the top for the bag. There's a little button you push and it clicks open, and there's an instruction how to take out the bag on the lid, but you just pull it out and then you can take out the bag. Goes pretty smooth. You just close it by push it down again. On the back side you get the filter, the blowout filter when your vacuum is being emptied. There's a filter so you don't get dust in the room. And there's a lid on the vacuum so you can manually get out the debris. There's a little security foam for transport, and the QR code for manual installment. Pretty easy to take out the canister. So you can empty it manually. And there is on the side a little switch to turn off and on the vacuum cleaner. And when you have the smart thing installed on your phone, you can easily control it via your phone. Now I'm starting it to make a map. It's go pretty fast because of the LiDAR. So when you turn it on, it will, on the first clean, or when you tell the vacuum to make a map, it just goes out and use the LiDAR, and it will scan the entire home, apartment or room, what you need. Sorry I didn't show how to reconnect or just connect the vacuum to the Wi-Fi and the phone. I had a lot of trouble with it, so I didn't get in because it was a mess. This is how it drives around the apartment to measure up the room. Just goes into the center of the room and just use the LiDAR, and then you have, as you can see on the map, every room on the map, And now let's go out to the kitchen, and it will shortly just spin around, and the room is also on the app. I choose the Samsung bud because I only have hard floors, and the soft brush is good for my apartment because I don't have any carpets. And you can also have, like here, if there are certain areas you don't want to get cleaned, or if you have something it should not go near, it could be a fireplace with ashes, or a plant, or it could be an area where your kids have some toys or some Legos you don't want it to get in contact with. Because it does detect some things, but it's not like the Roomba that uses the cam to find some debris. It will find if there has a certain height, it can find it. Now I'm showing the pattern. I have the switch on the pattern that it have to do a zigzag to start with, and then do all the edges. So now it will take the middle of the room first, then all the edges, and then all the tables and stools and things they can find in the middle of the room. They will go around them. And as I was talking about, it don't find small things like on the ground, because it's don't have the camera at the same way as like the Roomba. So like I have some very flat feet on a chair. They can't see it, they just think it's like a doorstep. So it will run into it or over it, and it can get stuck. But it's pretty good at finding things at they find them. So if you have some new things you put in it, and they are tall, like a stool or a vase or just a box, it will go around it. It does have some problems because they are measuring the room in real time. So it's not like the Roomba again that memorizes how things are standing and can easily go through small gaps and not hitting anything. This one, when it's measuring in real time and doesn't actually know its own size down to a millimeter, it can hit sides in small narrow places, or when it go like the edges in the room, when it finishes up the room, it can and will hit something. But it's not driving at full speed, so it won't get damaged, but it can have trouble getting into very small places. The sound of the wheels on this hard floor I have can be a bit loud, because it's like hard tires. If it's on carpets, I think it will be pretty silent. Now it's finished and going back to the station. If it was full of debris, the emptying bin will suck out all of the debris of the vacuum. That sound can be pretty loud because of the turbines, and it have to have a lot of suction to clean the robot. But overall, I think it's good on hard floors. It's not as good as navigating like the Roomba, but it's faster navigating because it's doing in real time. It don't need the map to go around because it sees the room with the lidar. So I think it's good buy because it's on a very low price compared to the others at the moment. So I think it's a thumbs up.